And a very good morning and good day to you, to each and every one of you around the globe that have decided to join this meeting, this safe space that we are creating in this world that is in a big turmoil at the moment, as we each of us know. We are bombarded with all of these different news, so we're going to go on a peaceful, on a wonderful journey today. My name is Alexis Sersha, and I am broadcasting from Far North Queensland. And we are not in a lockdown yet. Who knows what can happen? But because there are a bit less people here, and we do a lot of the traveling in a car, so it's still quite okay to be going around, driving around. So I've been spending a lot of time in the bush, in the wilderness, as I always do. And it is beautiful rain here, and just to remind everyone that life is going on, regardless of all of the things that are happening in the world, all of the news, the life is going on. And if you but just tap into it, and if you notice it, you step into quite a different dimension, quite a different reality, even within this, and especially within these times. So we are, those of us who have participating in the 3-month course Essence are well on our way, and that is going wonderfully. And Mikhail has asked me also to put together another course that is perhaps really needed in these times, and it is how to feel, how to connect with your own soul nature, how to connect with your eternal self. Because for many people, this is one of the most difficult, one of the most challenging things to really feel, to really allow, to really be vulnerable to this, to such a degree that you can allow your own soul self to be part of you, part of your own daily reality, and part of this world. Because it really, there is no other safe space really in these times. In the space that we are creating with integrating, with allowing our own soul self, is a safe space where nothing can harm you, where nothing can happen to you that is not in accordance with your own divine unfoldment. So we're still waiting for a few of us still coming in to settle in. So let's take a few deep breaths to really come here in this space, to come here into your body. Because this is the key, is it not? To be present with your body. In this time where a lot of the people are feeling betrayed by their own bodies, because it is the body that they feel is vulnerable to viruses, to bacteria, to all sorts of things. And they feel it is not safe. Alexis, I have had experience with a virus, a different one, not this particular one, a tropical one, a local one, that sometimes, puts people down for a year or more. Some people never recover. And yet for me, after I've sort of dealt with the initial, why me, how can this happen now when I'm awake and aware, and it was a while ago now, but I consciously went through the experience, and for 4 days I was at home, and then I befriended this virus, and I told it, well, you're now here, you're going to have to ascend, just like my body is ascending. And that was that, basically. But you can feel, I could feel the virus, I could feel it doing changes, I could feel it interacting with my body, but I used it, I utilized it to go even deeper into myself, and it helped me, it assisted me, it rode, for me, it rode on the wounded masculine part of me, and without its assistance I would not be able to go past, I would not be able to integrate certain things that my wounded masculine carried. You see that all of these things, the viruses, the bacteria, whatever have you, they are not brought in by your soul self. Your soul self will accept and deal with anything that, that you as a human choose. And of course, some of the things that it chooses, it introduces into your life. It guides your life. And yet none of these things, the soul self is not going to, does not decide, well, who is going to get a virus or not. All of the sickness is brought about by the wounded parts. And yet when you are integrated with your own soul, everything, but everything serves you. And you can utilize it, and it can help you. You can befriend it. Even though it doesn't live in your body, or for those that it does, you can befriend it and you can use it to go deeper, to go through the walls, to integrate the woundedness that it's showing you, to integrate all of those things that you don't want to look at. And yet when you are in that state, when you are in that state of heightened awareness because of what is happening, you become courageous, you become able, you get the will, that oomph to do it, to go deeper, to go wider, to go into yourself, to allow more. So this invitation is open for each and every one of you to deal with whatever is happening to each and every one of you. To not be afraid, because when you are in this state where each and every one of you that have joined to this program are, there is truly nothing that you have to be afraid of. There is nothing that does not serve you. There is nothing that you cannot utilize to become more of who you are. And there is so much joy in who you are. And you can walk this world regardless of what is happening. And it is not to say that you do not have compassion. Do what is necessary. Involve yourself if you wish to help. It is not, and yet deep inside of you, there is another point of separation for those that choose a deeper connection with your own eternal self, and for those that choose to go a different path. And yet each and every one, his consciousness is sacred. Each and every one of the human beings walking the earth is sacred. And you will learn this. And you will be able to accept it. And you will be able to accept the choices that people are making. When you realize, when you come to this space of eternity, when you come to this space of bigger picture, then you can have peace. Then you can be at peace. Because the biggest help, the biggest assistance that you can do for this world at this time is to integrate more, to allow all this finer energy, higher vibration to flow through you into this world, because this is what is needed, consciousness. Because it is with consciousness that things will turn out well. It's only with consciousness that can be miraculous changes to this world. So this does not need to be a disaster. This can be a great awakening with a consciousness present. And yet for the mass people, for the mass consciousness, at this time it has gone into a great fear. So it is up to each and every one of you to step out of that fear, to step out of that drama, and radiate peace, radiate self-love, radiate joy, even in these times, radiate freedom. Because there is great freedom in the spaces that have been created, in the peace, in the cleanliness of the air that is present now in so many spaces that have not been before. And you have to ask yourself, do you want to go back to the way it was? For that world is finished, that world has ended, and it depends on the consciousness as to what you are creating now, as to what you are bringing in now. Each and every one of you are essential part, essential co-creator of the world that you are creating. By being, by allowing who you are by allowing your soul self, your higher self, regardless of your master self. For it matters not what name you use, but what it matters is the experience that you bring forth. It is the feeling, this feeling of peace, this feeling of joy that bubbles from you. And yes, we are Michael, and we are Michaela, and we greet you. And we demonstrate how easy it is to step forward, how easy it is this dance of soul, of eternal self, of a human self. It is not a takeover. It is but a seamless integration. It is a seamless dance. And it is a respect and love. And your soul self brings with it the self-love, the expansion, the feelings of magnificence. And there are two things that a human self can do. For when you are not feeling connected to your soul self, when you are not feeling this deep connection, this deep well of well-being, this deep well of joy, of life flowing through you, then all you need to do is to stop what you are doing. Breathe. Allow yourself to be in your body. Befriend your body, regardless of where it is your body, whether it's well, whether it is ill with some sickness or other. You choose, consciously choose to love. And from in that space that you create, when you feel loved, when you finally feel loved by yourself, you create space for your soul self to enter the spaces within the cell, within each of the cell of your body that has been designed, that has been created to carry eternity, that has been created to allow the presence of your own soul. So you see, your body has been created for these times. And of course, it will change as it is moving from that time of separation into this time, into this space of allowing, of love, of magnificence, of joy. Joy that is real, that is not fake, that is not forced. For you see, the more you love yourself, from a human perspective, the more space you create within yourself. The more your soul, the vibration of the soul is compatible with that space. And the more, then you can feel that love. You see, it's like a circle, not a circle, but it feeds on in a good way. Love, self-love feeds on each other. For the more you can self-love, the more your presence of the soul is there. And with the soul brings all the talents, the abilities, the overview. So we have decided that today we're not going to talk about virus much, because there is so much has been written, said, and much more is going to be said. We're going to go on a journey with you that you can do over and over again, into the presence of your own soul, into the wonderful spaces of your eternal self. For this is your protection. It is the protection that is all you need, really. For in this space, you are eternal. In this space, you are indestructible. And you are already, whether you believe it or not, as a human being. For you forget that this human journey, that this visit to the earth, to this play that is called earth, is only temporary in this form that you are now. And you come over and over again. And yet your soul is not of the earth. You forget that. Your soul created the earth. So let's take a few deep breaths now. Come into this space. We welcome you into this space of magnificence. Feel yourself magnificent. And for those that are new, we invite you to be so bold that in these times you feel yourself magnificent. And your mind, of course, will find all the excuses as to why you shouldn't feel this way, why you're not magnificent, and yet we invite you to say no to all of that and just feel it. You see, all of these wonderful things that you dream about, for some that are dreams, health, well-being, feeling magnificent, feeling joyful, feeling wonderful, feeling accepted. You see, all of these are absolutely available to you, regardless of where you are, regardless of what you're doing, what condition you are in, whether you have money in the bank or not, whether you are ill, whether you are healthy, whether you are young and old, and everything in between. Those are all labels. And we are asking you to let go of those labels. Because those labels apply to you only, but only if you believe them, only if you take them on and then play those labels out. Because of course labels come with all its rules, its own rules. But when you're a certain age, then you call yourself that, and then of course that age has certain rules and labels with it, and then you act that role. So in the same way as you are already knowing how to act different labels, we are inviting you into this space where you act joyful, where you act free, where you act healthy, courageous, fearless. And then when all those voices that say no, 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 but you are not this, they will arise for sure. Your mind will say for sure you are not this, but remember that time when you were not courageous. All you say is no, 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 not today, my mind. And you go back into your body and you be in your body and you feel your body and you befriend your body. This body that you were taught not to befriend but to discipline with all your various exercises and all your various diets and things. And you were taught that your body is your enemy, that you have to fear, that it is vulnerable to all sorts of diseases. And I invite you to look at your body, feel your body as friend. So whenever you feel anxious about all of the different things that are happening in the world, switch those news off. Take that time instead to befriend your body. Be in your body. There are many meditations available that you can do to be in your body, to feel your body from toe to head. And allow, breathe in into that space that you create, into that space of respect, your own eternal self. Allow your soul self to be present to whatever degree. And as soon as you choose that, as soon as you make that act of choosing that, know that the process has begun. And for those that are on this journey have been for a while, you know that each of these choices does initiate a process of integration, where all of the parts that will say no, but this is not the case, all of the parts that will object will come up very strongly. All of the walls that you have created, all of the walls of the old life that have set the boundaries within which you are moved, will become known to you. And they will not become known to you to keep you within them. They become known to you because you are the creator of those walls. They will show themselves to you so that you can learn, so that you can break them down, so that you can melt them, so that you can initially find the door through which you walk into a bigger space of yourself. And then you realize that even through the walls you can walk, that there are no walls that can keep you within them, because you are the builder of those walls. You are the ones that put them there. You are the one that constructed them within yourself. And you are the only one, but the only one that can deconstruct them. And that is, at times, a curse and a blessing of being a creator, is it not? For sometimes, for many, especially initially, it would be easier if those walls were deconstructed by someone else, and yet it is this that you have to learn. But with the presence of your soul, it teaches you, it embraces, it breathes. Yes, it breathes, not the air. It's intimacy, it's wisdom, wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes on this earth and in other places, in places non-physical. For your soul, yourself as a soul, feel its presence, feel its 1,000 lifetimes that it's lived, the wisdom of those lifetimes. Feel the faces greeting you, helping you, supporting you through this time. For you are not alone. And during the awakening time and during the times of integration, there is but a great focus on all of the negative parts and all of the things, of course, that are keeping you away from freedom, that are keeping you trapped and stuck. So we invite you now to feel all of the good things, all of the positive things, all of the things of the strength that you have experienced. Feel its timeless wisdom. Feel all of the places, the spaces, the centuries, the experiences that it had. Let these faces, let these facets of your own self speak to you now. They do not speak with voices. They speak with feelings. They speak with pictures, with experiences. Let them share their experiences of strength. For they too have had great upheavals, for they too experienced great tragedies, upheavals, wars, famine, and yet feel their strength as they survived, as they continued, as they accepted, as they moved on, and the life continued. You continued. And let them share with you their great wisdom, the wisdom that you can utilize in this time. For you see, your soul has immeasurable wisdom from all of the experiences it had. So as we are now present, very present in this body that we're befriending, feel how, with the presence of your soul, as much as you can feel it, feel how it's nudging you, how it's tickling you, how playful it is, how it's inviting you to go into that space where you can be, where you can expand, where you can expand outside of your body, beyond your body, into your depth. And yet it is funny, is it not, how the depth feels? How it also goes outside, how you expand. And at the same time, when you are in your body, you're also outside of it. Feel yourself flying. Feel yourself stepping into a bigger picture outside of your body. Go outside of the window. Feel yourself stepping outside. Have an overview. All of a sudden, you are above your building, as well as inside, as well as on the chair, on the sofa, wherever you are sitting, lying down. For you see, this is all within the capabilities of your own soul, of all of the abilities that your soul brings to you and makes them readily available to you, the human. So feel it inviting you to feel the great peace that is now over the land, the quietness, the clarity that is available in these spaces where normally there is busyness, there is noise. You see, there are positive, so to speak, positive benefits of what is happening now. Utilize them. Feel this deep breath of nature. Feel yourself flying as a bird, stepping up above, and allow yourself to feel all the wisdom. Allow yourself to feel the insights for your own home, for your own area, that will help you to navigate through this time, that will help you assist others. Allow yourself to feel the characters that live in this space, that exist in this space. Because you are sitting now on the tallest space, perhaps that's a big building, you know, one of those buildings with gargoyles on the ledge as you're surveying your place, your town, your city, your countryside. Perhaps it is but a tall branch of a tall tree, or perhaps on a rock on the mountain that you are sitting. Feel as you're sitting with someone. For Archangel Michael is there with you. As he's giggling, as she's laughing, as she's telling jokes. Feel her joy. Joy that you can finally be so conscious of him, the Archangel, of her, the Archangel, and she's there, right there with you. You can, of course, invite your own favorite Archangel, for each and every one of them wants to connect with you, wants to be with you in this time when strength is needed, when support is needed. And yet you will see that from this far above. In this space, there is no turmoil. There is but joy, there is playfulness. You see, the Archangel Michael is very playful. He's very light, the lightness of being. Ask her to show you. Ask her to inspire you. And the other angels, for they are ready, they are there for you, to assist you, to show you, not to do it for you. And notice how they are not above you, how they are not scary. You see, all of these things that we're experiencing right now, they are the tools, they are the abilities, they are the feelings, the presence that you can bring back into your body, that you can live, that you can radiate out to others, that you can lift up the consciousness, the awareness of these times, so that these times are resolved, are lived with compassion, with peace, not with turmoil, not with fear, but with understanding, with great insights that will change your world, that will change the reality for many, that will assist many to become aware of this presence, to become aware of their own selves as eternal beings. For dear ones, the world of separation that was, the world of separation that has to gobble up everything because it's never satisfied, for it is disconnected. There is always striving, always rushing. See, this world is no longer supported by consciousness, so it cannot continue indefinitely. It is now time, your time, to allow yourself this peace, to allow yourself this space to enjoy this breath that Earth is taking at this time. From the shackles of separation, from the shackles of mass consciousness that was based on separation, that was based on all of those things that you know so well, that have been part of the mass consciousness because it was separated from their own soul, separated from their own eternal soul. So now, from your vantage point, from your high vantage point where we are, step further into the depths of your own being, into the divinity. Feel yourself sacred, and notice how the deeper inside of you step, you allow yourself to fall, the deeper outside you can see. All of a sudden you find yourself having a vantage point as if you were a moon, and you see this beautiful blue-green jewel that the earth is, and feel the joy, the beauty, the amazement of your experience, of your lifetimes that you've lived there on this beautiful diamond that is called the earth. Feel yourself and your love for this planet, love for all the beings, love for all the creatures that inhabit this planet. And feel as all of the stories, calamities, all of the things that have happened flow through you. And you realize what a rich tapestry this is, what a rich tapestry this earth is. The playground of many, the playground of so many, such a variety of things that you can experience. And feel yourself in the presence of your soul. How those experiences look very different from this vantage point. So you see, this vantage point, you can always keep with you. You always have the access to this vantage point. As well as being in the story, you also have the ability at the same time to look at your story from afar, from above, from below, from underneath, from each and every side. And it is this ability, these abilities that assist you to navigate these times with grace and ease, with panache, with style even. For there is nothing, as you can see from this vantage point, that compels you to be worried. There is nothing that says that you should suffer. There is nothing that says that you should feel pain. And regardless of whether you have manifested the virus for yourself in your body or not, well, from this vantage point, you realize you've been there, you've done that as a soul many times. And your soul is present with you, available to assist you in any way. And yet from this vantage point, you see the things that are happening are quite amazing, and yet at the same time not serious, not in the same way. as if you were still a human that is disconnected, that is not in touch, that has not allowed their soul self to be present with them, in their body. You see, there is no end to the abilities that your soul self, your master self, allows you to experience. They are freely available to you at any time. Yes, it requires work, and there are many. There are endless tools now available to you to deal with anything that comes up. You have each other to discuss, to support. See, there is but no more excuses not to feel this, not to allow. Regardless of what is happening in the mass consciousness, for when you allow yourself this vantage point, and of course, we're not finished yet. So feel yourself as your soul nudges you again. It says, hey, this is not the end of us. This viewpoint where you're looking from space onto this beautiful jewel that is called Earth, where you can freely travel through the universe. For consciousness is everywhere present, your consciousness. Your soul self is vast. And at some point, you meet but the third one, your eternal self. And that is vaster still. There is no end, for there is no time when it began. There is no time where it will finish. There is but transformation. There is dynamic experiences of change. So allow yourself to travel, allow yourself to experience the nebulous, the wonderful birthplaces where the stars are born. For even this is available to you. And at the same time, you can feel yourself very present in your own body. Feel your body. Feel the birthplace of the stars all at the same time. Allow yourself to be this free. Allow yourself to be disintegrated. Allow yourself to be this joyful, to be this adventurous, to be this bold, to live fully present in these times, to be that light, to be that consciousness for others, but mainly to allow this presence of your own soul and go on this kind of journeys, for you can see how easy it is. For we haven't really gone anywhere, have we? And those birthplaces of the stars is by no means the end. So we invite you to practice this. We invite you in the evening when you are lying in your bed, perhaps worrying about the day's happenings and what is going to happen, and giving in, indulging the fears. We invite you to instead journey with your soul in the way that we've done just right now. Very present in your body and very present anywhere that you want to go. And feel and experience how your imagination flourishes, how your creativity flourishes. And in this creative space of playing, of interacting with your own soul self, you see, for this is what you came to the physical earth. This is what you came to experience. This kind of integration, this kind of freedom where you are fully present. You see, it's not like in the old days, the ideas where to be infused with a soul, it meant that you leave your body, that you leave your physicality. It meant that you're fluffy, living in the fantasy world. No, it means you are very present. are very physical. And in this space, you find that you can play with any virus. For no virus is greater than your soul. For you have felt the grandness, the timelessness, the creator that you are as a soul, that created anything alive, that created all experiences. It is in this space that you have all the safety, all the protection that you need, all the fearlessness that you need. So the more you practice this, and as you are interacting with your own soul, you will find your own unique ways of being, unique ways of creativity, unique ways of imagination, unique feelings, unique experiences, feelings that you don't even have words. For you will find how words are just single dimensional, and it is the feelings that bring so many different experiences. See, so you will come to a place where you find that whatever happens, whatever you experience, you cannot judge it anymore from just one position. You cannot just say, well, I had this bad experience. For that single dimensional thing does no longer exist. For each and every experience has so many facets, has so many viewpoints, has so many feelings, the good and the bad and everything in between. Full variety and so much more. So much more that you don't even have words, and you won't even feel the need to explain to others. For you go into the realm where your commitment to yourself is unbreakable. You go into the realm where some of the experiences are just for you. The intimacy is just for you and you with you. And yet even within that, you can't help but share the joy as it bubbles from you. You share it with others freely. You share it with others joyfully. Because there is no end to this joy, from where this joy is now coming from. For it is not faked, it is a real experience. And there is so much more from where it comes from. You could share it with each and every human being in the world, share it in full measure, and yet there still would be no end to it. You see, because there is no lack in soul, there is no lack deep inside of your own being. It does not exist. So we invite you to step with assurance, with great determination, so to speak, into this space of vulnerability, into this space of allowing, into this space of playfulness. And be that, uncompromisingly be that, you with you in this world that is going through such big things at the moment. You present, divine, whole, conscious, present in the body, and yet also present in all these other wonderful spaces and places. For you are no longer limited to a single experience, for you are no longer limited to just the one thing, for you are no longer trapped to live in fear, in suffering, in turmoil. Those words no longer, those experiences, those feelings no longer exist for where you are, where you can be. Those are but just experiences. For you will find, of course, with the breadth of experiences, there are preferences, potentials that you want to co-create. So I invite you, co-create the world of your dreams, the world of your heart, the world of integration, the world that is infused with your soul's present, with your master self's present, and eternal self. We invite you to create that world now. It is the best time to do this. We invite you to be so bold, so uncompromising, for it is required. With all of the distractions that will try to pull you back into the fear, and you say, no, no, no. And it is not something that you need to scream or shout from the rooftops to everyone. You can be quiet, for this presence is quiet and all-encompassing. And yet at the same time, for some of you, you can teach, you can assist others, and yet it is only your presence that invokes those potentials, myriads of potentials in others without you saying a word. Okay, and Alex is reminding us that there is a Q&A panel on the bottom of the screen, so for those that want to ask some questions. So let's see if we have some questions. No, we have no questions today. So we want to hug you, and we ask you to feel that hug, to be present for the hug from us and from your own soul self, from your own eternal being, from your own eternal self. And we want to congratulate you for staying. We want to congratulate you for being present in this world. And we also want to congratulate you for allowing yourself this courage to be in peace, to be in joy, to be in imagination, to be in amazement at life, to always have this childlike innocence about you, with you, so that everywhere you walk, everywhere you step, everywhere you put your attention to is graced by your presence, is graced by your peace, is graced by your health and joy. It's graced by your divine respect for all life, for every being, for every human being. Okay, we'll have a look. Yes, we do have some questions now. Okay. Dear Alex and Michael, thank you for this wonderful message. It is a joy to work with you. And dear one, it is a joy to work with you. You have no idea of how proud, of how amazed we are at what you are doing, what you are allowing, the courage that you have, the style that you have, the uniqueness that you have, that you are finally allowing yourself to come forth, to radiate from your being. You are a blessing to your family, to your those close to you, to the world, just as each and every one of you is a blessing to this world. Okay. I think this is from the same person, dear Alex and Michael. Thank you for this wonderful message and showing us this space. It is a joy to work with you. And thank you. And thank yourself, because the space that you have created, we have traveled together on this journey today and every day, but the space that you have created, remember, you have created it. It wasn't us, it was you with you. It was, yes, it was us as an eternal self of yourself. And for each and every one of you, own it. You are this peace. You are this space. You are this journey person. You are this person that imagines. You are this divine being. You are the co-creator. So we ask you, each and every one of you, as we want you to ask yourself every day, every hour, every minute perhaps, what kind of world are you co-creating? For if you participate in the drama, it doesn't mean that you are not aware. It doesn't mean that you are not practical. You are more practical as ever, for you look at the situation, you assess, and you will know just what to do. And practicality means practical. It doesn't mean you live off with the fairies. Being embodied is quite opposite. You are very present. And remember, on our journey today, we haven't left our body, have we? We have added to the experience of being in the body. We have journeyed to the fast spaces while being fully present in the body. You see, being fully present in wherever, in the space that you occupy now, in this physical space, you can now have the abilities with your soul's present to be in all of those spaces at the same time. There is no limit to how many things you can perceive while being in the body. And while being in the body means that you practically look after it. And if that means stocking up because the shops will close, that means stocking up, you see. With your soul presence, you have the energy, you have the ability, you have the insights, and follow your inner voice. If you feel like you have to do something, do it. It is very practical, and at the same time it is very spacious. And this is the wonderful thing about it. There is no limit. So we ask you again, what kind of world do you want to create? Then be that world. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until next hour. Don't wait until the afternoon or the night or the morning. Don't wait until you get home from the job. Be the world that you want to experience wherever you are, whichever situation you find yourself in, regardless of the condition of your body at this present time. You invite your soul to show you those feelings of what it is like to be the world that you want to live. And so it is, as you choose, as you allow. And so it is. Okay, we have another question. My bathroom mirror fell to the floor one day last week. Though it is still intact, I wonder if this was a message about my identity. Yes, indeed. You give yourself messages all the time. For your identity can change in a flash as you choose. Dear one, you are so loved. Dear one, you are so honored and respected. And we are amazed at how far you've come and at what you have allowed. And we are amazed at all of the things that you are still going to allow and at your courage. We love you so. And we are present with you with each and every one of your steps. And yes, the mirror, ask yourself what it is that you want to see in that mirror as you look into your eyes. As you see yourself through your eyes and you look into the eternity. For this is the time you want each and every one of you to experience all of what we have been talking about through this medium, through this channel, through others. The eternity, the divinity within you, as it is looking at you in the mirror through your eyes, not through someone else's eyes. but through your eyes. What do you see when you look at yourself? What do you see when you look at your skin? You look at your face, you look at your body. Do you embrace it? Do you hug it with your look? Do you accept it? Do you say to it how beautiful it is, you see? For when you look at your body in this way, and so it is, and so it will be, and so it transforms. Your view of yourself transforms, your acceptance. Thank you, dear one. And we invite you to keep looking in that mirror and break them even, because you are so present. Your divinity is so present that perhaps the mirror that can withstand that presence has not been made yet. And yet it soon will be. Thank you, dear one. This was a play from us to you. Okay, so we believe that you, the courageous ones, are the new dreamers, are the new creators, are the new co-creators of this new earth, this new world. We trust in you. We believe in you. We see you as divine. We see you as sacred. And we invite you to see yourself just as like that. Until next time, thank you.